Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pain Train. Continuing on with my video game environment series, here's my top 5 prison stages and areas in video games.
Hopefully this is apparent from the title, but this is my list of favorites. This is heavily influenced by my own subjectiveness and biases, but I will try to explain as thoroughly as I can why each area appeals to me. Also, I will be upfront with the fact that I am a Nintendo fanboy, and as such, most entries are going to be from those games. However, I am limiting it to one entry per series for each video. Otherwise, certain series would dominate these rankings. I'm going to touch on aesthetics, level design, and music. Without any further ado, let's go!
At number 5, we have Riften Jail from Skyrim. This sequence has no busy being as funny as it is. If you get caught being nefarious and choose to go to the Riften Jail, your prison escape is less intense than it is a clown show. You can pick the lock fairly easily, and if the guards are alerted, they will give chase, and they are ridiculously easy to avoid. But when you want to grab your stuff and get out, you'll need to pickpocket the guard, greatest security force in the land. Now once you make it outside, it does get tougher as everyone is on high alert and you'll need to sprint past all the guards shooting arrows at you and jump into the water at the dock. The difficulty disparity between the inside and outside of the jail is very amusing to me, and that's probably what makes it memorable enough to put it on the list. Next at number 4 is Arkham from Arkham Asylum. When I say I never relax while playing this game, I mean it. Making an entire game a prison biome is a risky move, but this is the series and setting to do it. Filled to the brim with all of Gotham's weirdo supervillains, there's an uprising plot involving Joker taking control of the prison and forcing Batman to battle hordes of enemies alone. While prison settings are known for being aesthetically dull and boring, this game makes them anything but. You have to work through many different types of rooms and even go through outside areas to keep it fresh. The music gets me DMCA'd, but it's haunting, tense, and subdued. Some of the most prominent enemies are Bane, Killer Croc, and the Clown Prince of Crime himself. A lot of people would call this the greatest superhero video game of all time, and I wouldn't necessarily disagree. The combat is intuitive and satisfying, the plot is engaging and well put together, so why so low on the list? I never finished it. I never owned the game myself. I played it several times at a friend's house, and I don't really have an excuse as to why I still haven't finished it other than I don't have the consoles it's on. But even with the amount I've played, it's one of the best prisons in gaming, and someday soon I'll finish the job. Coming in at number 3 is Sultan's Dungeon from Aladdin on the Switch, which I believe is the Sega version of the game since Aladdin uses a sword. For an early-ish level in the game, this stage can be quite the life drainer. It's a stony blue-tinted jail teeming with hazards and enemies. You start out on the ground level, avoiding bats and 3D perspective ball and chains, and you'll eventually make your way platforming higher and higher, battling enemies including guards, bomb-wielding skeletons, and wall-protruding spikes. The music is a subdued version of Arabian Nights, which does a very good job at portraying a sense of danger and dread. I have a couple issues with this stage though. Sometimes it's very hard to tell what is a platform and what isn't, so it's easy to fall a long way or leap into an enemy attack simply because you miscalculate where solid ground is. Also, man is it hard to avoid getting hit in this stage. That's not really a criticism, I just wanted to whine. I'm in a prison, so it's appropriate. This stage is very fun and tests your mettle, so it is more than deserving of a top spot. In second place is Prison Lane from Sonic Adventure 2. A jail stage in Sonic is almost as surprising as Tails being in a mech, but let's not get into that. Sonic has been arrested by the World Military Police because they mistook a black and red hedgehog to be the blue blur that everyone knows and loves, so Tails is here to bust him out. This stage is mostly narrow passageways blocked off by prison gates that open when you defeat all the enemies in the area, which include gun beetles, hunters, and hornets. Despite the requirement of defeating enemies to open gates, this stage is actually pretty well paced for a Tails level. If you're good enough at shooting, you'll almost constantly be moving, and even with the cramped hallways, there's nowhere that you can't avoid being hit by the enemies. The music is strange here though. While I enjoy it, it's very new age and supernatural sounding. It doesn't seem like it fits, but maybe I'm overthinking it. Since the prison is guarded exclusively by robots, it's definitely heavy on the technology. While I wouldn't call it my favorite level in the game, it's probably the best Tails level in it, and it's rock solid. And number 1 goes to Gerudo Fortress from The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. As a kid, I always really enjoyed this part of the game, which is strange because I hate stealth missions. But when you're tossed in a prison complex filled with beautiful, angry desert women, can you really blame young me for being jealous of Link? Simping aside, what makes this sneaking not too bad is if you're a good shot and patient, you can knock out the guards by shooting them with Link's weapons. The real challenge is not getting lost in this maze as you search for 4 carpenters to rescue. When you find each one, you get confronted by a dual scimitar-wielding warrior woman that you must defeat to get the keys to free the carpenters. The only bad thing I would have to say about this whole mission is the ones you battle have this super lunge mode where if they hit you, no matter how much health you have, they defeat you and throw you back in your cell. The music is shared with Dodongo's Cavern, but it fits perfectly as a prison theme as well. It's low and filled with strange and creepy noises, and has a constant state of tension as though you'll be caught at any moment. This area is one of the few prison stages that I don't dread, and we'll ignore that one of the main factors is I had the hots for the Gerudo. We'll just say it has the difficulty, theming, and design to be the number 1 prison environment in gaming.
So what did you think of the list? Who did I leave off? Who shouldn't be on here? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please drop a like, subscribe, follow on various social media in the description below. Keep an eye out for more biome rankings in the future. And as always, have a blessed day.